Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. You're watching Newsroom. I'm your host, Omar Khalid. But today is the 3rd of July, 3rd of August rather, 2021. And we will discuss Pakistan's shift from geostrategic to geoeconomic policies and, of course, the linkages that it is trying to create with the Central Asian states. This is very important in the whole context of economic stability in the region. And, of course, stability in Afghanistan is also pivotal for these linkages to be successful. Now, to talk more about these linkages, the importance of Pakistan's shift to geoeconomic policies, we've been joined by Dr. Hasnain Javed. He's a leading economist. Dr. Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. Dr. Saab, how important is A, this shift to geoeconomic policies, and B, how important is also Pakistan's relationship that it is trying to endeavor and strengthen with the Central Asian states?
Right. Let me start with the three reasons why supporting peace is more important than ever. Because the very first reason, if I would say, that one is the effect of conflict are far reaching. Because if we could see that, as Prime Minister says in the Geoeconomic Vision, that it has to be done decades before, but none of the government has done this before because nobody knew that the landlocked countries, the Central Asian state, are much important and pivot role for the Pakistan peace development and economic peace development. So what is economic peace? I just wanted to relate this one with the effect of conflict are far reaching, because have you seen that the United Nations estimated report is a 19.5 or more than that is a million of these are people who have fled their countries as refugees, and half of them are children. So the third most reason is the military answer to the political problem alone don't work at all now, because at the heart of many violent conflicts lies issues of inequalities, injustice, explosions, and otherwise. So we have seen that the America came to Pakistan, to Afghanistan. They have done whatever they have done. It is quite obvious that the shift of the economic shift or the based on war strategies are completely failed. So here the PM Geoeconomic Vision making way to Central Asia through peaceful Afghanistan is the most pivot. Here I just wanted to mention the few shifts that why it is much important is now. So have you seen technically that we have seen that the Mazar Sharif, a 573 kilometer route from the Peshawar via Kabul agreed between the Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan is about the 5 billion project of the cost. So we have always missed these links with the Uzbekistan, the five Central Asian states. This is completely landlocked, and we must have to, we are completely slower, and it should have ever happened before, because the Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan, these five Central Asian states have more potential, and they are having more exports than us. But now with them, they have into so many products and commodities. Now, if we check with the route to Tabriz and Mazar Sharif to the Peshawar, there is a one connectivity important connectivity is railway line, which is connect from the Central Asia to the Arabian Sea through Afghanistan and Pakistan seaport to Karachi and Gwadar and Ben Qasim. So Gwadar is the main. What we can say. I'm quite flummoxed. I'm flabbergasted completely. Who are those who are? Talking about that we need peace. Without geoeconomic strategy, geoeconomic vision, the new economic vision is or the new foreign policy.
It is interlinked with peace in Afghanistan, sir.
Can you please repeat it again?
Yeah, I said all of it is interlinked with peace in Afghanistan. If there's no peace in Afghanistan, there's no geoeconomic stability in the region.
Completely. See, the conflict shatter lives and stunt development. If this, because of you have put up the very important question. I just distract from one way to other, which is like more than 1.5 billion people lives in countries affected by the violent conflict. and gap between these countries enjoying a relative peace and those afflicted by the newly adopted sustainable development goal, they are completely lost their development. Afghanistan is completely lost their development just because of having no peace. So prime minister is putting up the new effort, and it was not very new. Before he came into power in 2018, he was in the favor of a negotiation. He was in the favor of peaceful contribution. He was in the favor of negotiation, and he was in the favor of just to talk on table. Whether it is any ideology, whether it is of any ideas, whether it is uh, competent, incompetent, whether it is matching to the Western world, whether it is matching to the Eastern world, the most important thing is whatsoever they have. For example, if it is running by any government or any people, the peace is much important. For example, if I say I can give you an example of the France and Germany. They were, I mean, just to conquer 1 kilometer, the Germany have asked them to kill their forces about for about 1 lakh something. So, but when it comes to the economic development, they are putting up all this their efforts into the economic development, and they come into the European Union, and European Union mean euro, and euro mean the unification on the basis of the economics. So economic bloc is much important. Without economic bloc, here in the Pakistan, the Central Asian state, the Afghanistan, obviously, and the Russia and the China. So this is the most important regional Southeast Asian part.
But Dr.
Which
Saab, with due respect, why don't these regional players, whether it be the 5 Central Asian states that we've talked about, that our Prime Minister wants to enhance connectivity with, and of course that includes Uzbekistan, with whom we have the Trans-Afghan Railway project, as well as the 573-kilometer road project. These players, they need to push up their efforts as well in order to bring in peace in Afghanistan. And we should also make the parties that are important to peace in Afghanistan realize the importance of economic stability in Afghanistan, and that will only come through peace in that region. How can we build on that pressure on the different factions in Afghanistan?
Thank you very much. Again, a very important question putting up by you. I'm again thankful to you put up this way. Like, just to understand and realize that I mean, this statement by Prime Minister Imran Khan is a bravery. It is a sign of bravery, because it's never been done. Still, you have seen that the opposition is not in the favor of whatsoever his Prime Minister is working for the peace. I mean, they are just, I mean, still they want to have the connectivity. We want to have a good relationship with Americans. We want to have the relationship with West. We have to have the relationship with any other country. But now it is not so easy, and I mean, you can say that is very flexible. Still, it is very, I mean, we have to see another 6 months. I am not sure that it can happen. But Prime Minister is working for the peace. You just have to see the scenario, I mean, underway is like Russia and China having the hundreds of billion trades. The American trade with the US is quite, I mean, not that much. It is declined by the 65% of the import and exports. You have seen that. So Russia is, I mean, after 15 years, our Chief of Army Staff and the Major General Babar Iftikhar has given the statement clearly and widely that the India is strangling and India is creating the conflict. It is the bone of contention between the peace. But
Dr. Saab, you know, if everybody knows, if these nations know, the nations that are trying to bridge their gaps and create proper connectivity in the economic front, can't they be as one fist and kind of counter such elements, such spoilers that are trying to create impediments in the way of economic progress in the region?
That's I'm coming on it. But, like, I mean, it is only happened when China clearly, I mean, it was not the time, I mean, like 2 years back or 3 years back. Now it is the clear time for China. China is giving their detailed statements against America, because America is now putting their, categorical statement against China, from the bio war, from the coronavirus, from the pandemic, from everything, and they are just, putting a statement against the President Xi and the President Putin. So President Putin here, they have developed the peace blocks with the other five countries. Here, the China creating the Belt and Road Project, which is Belt and Road Project means 70-country alliance, and they are, expanding their alliance within the road. Here, the Prime Minister Imran Khan is putting up the excellent initiatives in that way, that he has seen that the Russia and China having the good trade relationship. I'm just telling you that the highest of the 90 million of the trade is being done, and other things are being done. Now, after 15 years, we have the good relationships, and a visit to the Russia is the sign for the prosperity. It's the sign for the peace. It's the sign, and we have the combined, the military exercises. It was initially with the Americans, but now we have good exercises and a joint collaboration with the Russian and the Chinese. So
all right.
it is.
Now, you talked about the United States, Dr. Saab, you talked about the US, and I'd like to highlight this announcement that was made by the US, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, and Afghanistan on the 15th of July, who had agreed to establish a new quadrilateral diplomatic platform to focus on enhancing regional connectivity. Do you feel that this could happen despite the fact that there are certain tensions in the region?
The recent visit to Uzbekistan, Abdul Razak Daud was along with the Prime Minister. They have went with the plan of the $90 billion. Do you think it is not been witnessed by the world powers? Obviously, it is the most crucial part. They are creating and they are developing the new market, the new supply chain, the new development of the economic liaisons. And here it is just not about the Uzbekistan. We have, according to the bilateral trade figure, the volume of the two-way trade was around 20.7 million. And it was been happened. It has been done with the Uzbekistan. It is the new plan. What I am telling you is about the 90 billion of the plan, which is the mega plan with the Uzbekistan. Our railway will be unified. Obviously, we have to upgrade our relationship railway development plans. But initially in 2018 it was 20.7, which went up to $28 million in 2019. See the historic pattern, and now in 2022 the bilateral trade reached to the 34.3 million. That's mean that in the last 3 years we have a wonderful relationship with Uzbekistan, because they have the one, deep down, they have a potential of exports, but they are landlocked. Always try to understand, we need to understand, and our Pakistani nation try to understand that the upcoming word is all about economics, and economics. There is no relationship, there is no peace, there is no development without economic development. The war has been gone. For example, the war strategies, war ideas, the war development, war-based conflicts, that all is been, the war is the brainchild of America, obviously. And I have no, whole of the universe knows, or whole of the world knows, that obviously this is the conquering idea, and now the word is completely changed. The geoeconomics, geoeconomics, and liberalism and liberalization, trade liberalization, must have to be in the form. So as I said, we have a good relationship with Afghanistan in trade, which was like 5.5%. Now it was fell down, and we need to re-establish the good trading relationship with Afghanistan.
All right, when you talk of good trading relationship with Afghanistan, Dr. Saab, a lot of experts, a lot of people say that this whole connectivity between South Asia and Central Asia is going to not only benefit the countries that are in the region, but also countries beyond the region, like for example East Africa and other nations. Now, in the current situation that Afghanistan is embroiled in, how can Pakistan persuade, and I'd like to reiterate the question that I did ask you in the beginning of the show, how can Pakistan or other important powers, the Central Asian states, make Afghanistan or those who are fighting in Afghanistan realize the importance of peace and regional connectivity and economic stability?
Just don't want to touch that idea, but now let me be very open. Like, for example, if somewhat any ideology, I mean, are you getting this point that whatever they have the ideology in, I mean, whosoever make the permanent government, obviously Ashraf Ghani is Ashraf Ghani, the president Ashraf Ghani's complete inclination toward the India is I mean an open secret now. So whosoever come up with the idea, they must have to have a clear idea that Pakistan is the only country which can give you the access to the Afghanistan. I mean, from Kandahar to from Gwadar, and from Gwadar there is a Samarkand and Bukhara. Obviously, all the connectivity comes from the Gwadar. So this way go down. With Afghanistan, it is the complete, they need our railway system, railway track system, railway logistics system, railway supply chain system, and then all the port system, which we have the wonderful 3-berth operation by the, and I would appreciate CPAC authority, and I would appreciate China, I mean, fast track working relationship, because in the past it was been slowed down, but now it is on the higher speed. And I would appreciate Asim Salim Bajwa Saab because of he is heading the authority. And now it is, I mean, we have developed the 3 berths. So all is the connectivity from the Gwadar to the Central Asian state. And you can see the Central Asian state, plus it is very much important for the Afghanistan. For example, if they have any ideology, how they can get from the trade development, how can they have the uranium, how can they have...
Of course, Dr. Hasnain, that we all get, and I think that is primordial. The most important factor today as we speak of economic stability, of regional connectivity in the region, all those projects that have been initiated by our Prime Minister to connect the South Asia with Central Asia, it is pertinent that the peace comes to Afghanistan, because without that, nothing concrete can happen and no proper progress can happen in the region if things go this way. Thank you very much, Dr. Hasnain, to have joined us and to have talked to us about this connectivity with Central Asian states that our Prime Minister is endeavoring for. But of course, he has also pinpointed that nothing can happen without peace and prosperity in Afghanistan. Peace is primordial. Thank you very much, Dr. Hasnain Javed. With that, we come to an end of today's newsroom. We'll see you inshallah tomorrow with news stories and segments. Take care of yourselves, get yourselves vaccinated, and follow the SOPs. Allah Hafiz.